Hi guys, Richard from SharpshootingUK here. Welcome to my office. It's really rainy in Scotland, but I'm waterproof. So, I have got a new section I'm starting for the channel called Optics Warehouse Product Highlights, something like that. And what it is Optics Warehouse send me things out to comment on. And I say to them, you know, this is not worth really pushing, or this is a real bargain. You know, let's, you know, I think this is great. Let's move forward with these, and I just advise them on what's hot and what's not in the field. And it's to their credit that they want that type of feedback. But at the end of the day, everybody wants products that will sell, and products that offer extra value. So. You know that I loved the Delta scopes, and Delta are getting a brand name in place, they're getting a reputation in place, they're doing some great glass, really great glass. Even these binos I was sent, these are not £150, the Forest 2, and they are absolutely handsome. Honestly, I mean, they're not Swaros, but they're sharp, their edge to edge is great, they have great colour. Their flat focus across the image, you know, really good little flip-up caps on the end. The ergonomics are fine. They're waterproof. They come in a great little case. You know, there's some really good bargains out there, you know, and I just want to use this playlist to highlight them. No bullshit, just these are great products, guys, at good bargain prices, because they're lesser known brands, or brands that are building up their reputation. Now, on that level, Rudolph, they're well known in South Africa, but they're not so well known here. Optics Warehouse are trying them. They've sent me a couple and some rangefinders, and I'm here to just give you some feedback. This is my favourite. This is the 6-24 FFP. It is very like a Cytron S3. You've got to bear in mind that these companies, they speak to the Japanese factories and they say, we want this tube, we want these turrets, and we want these lenses. And it's kind of Meccano. And there's nothing really to stop a third party coming in and saying, well, we want that scope with our name on. Now, there may be subtle differences, but this is the nearest scope I can think of to compare this to is the S3 6-24 FFP, but with a couple of little changes. So what is really interesting about this scope is not that it is similar to the S3, which is a cracking scope in itself. It's that it has an even better ret. The ret in this has been redesigned, and essentially it's like the S3 ret, but it has 1 minute hashes, not 2. And if there's one thing that's always annoyed me about the S3 ret, is that hashes were 2 minutes, which is just a bit coarse, to say the least. Whereas 1 minute hashes, that is a great improvement. Have a look on the Optics Warehouse website, you'll see what the ret looks like. But I honestly think this is a very safe bet, and you can save yourself a lot of money over the S3. The 6-24 FFP is my favourite S3, and this has all of the qualities that I like in the S3. It is tack sharp, top to bottom, great eye box, really flat, white, sharp, high resolution Japanese glass. The glass that's made the S3 so popular is, I think, identical here. I haven't compared side by side to an S3, I don't have one with me, but you know, this is a really safe bet. And this is a lot cheaper than the S3, I think in the order of £150 or so, and you're getting it from a company that's well known in South Africa, is backed by Optics Warehouse, who are not going to mess you about. They've got their new 60-day try it and you know, suck it and see program that they're doing, which I think is leading the industry. Tremendous. So what we've got here, normal, well, it's like the S3 really, 15 minutes per turn, no zero stop, and the turrets, unfortunately you'll need a label on here because one goes that way and then one that way is 14. but there might be some aftermarket turrets coming out for this. Just watch this space. But you know, you're looking at a scope that's ergonomically the same as the S3, right down to the little hex, not hex, the little Torx in the top there. This version here, again, it's not the same as the S3. This is a different tube, different turrets. It does count the right way. This is the SFP version. Again, 1 minute ret, very smart. Nice throw lever from Rudolph. I like this scope a lot. It's very bright and clear, really good quality glass, solid mid-range scope. This one, I think, like the S3 FFP, knocks on the door of what the Alphas can do, and is a particular bargain. So I'm a big fan of that one. And then, of course, in the Rudolph range, what is causing a lot of waves at the moment is their binocular rangefinder. Now, this is £845. Comes in a lovely case. There you have it. Let me put it on my display shelf here. There. Now, this thing is good. This thing is really good. The pinger is the fastest I've ever used. It matches my latest model Swarovski EL range. It matches the pinger in that, yard for yard, but it's quicker. It's got all these different modes, but you don't really need them. It just does the job. You press the button and ping 1800 yards. It's really good. I haven't got it to do 1800 meters as promised, but it certainly does. It certainly does 1600 yards on very poor reflective targets, like trying to range a rabbit on a sloping grass bank. You know, worst case stuff. It is really good. It's certainly as good as the Swaro. It'll probably do 2000 yards on a road sign or a white van. I don't really care. What I'm interested in is what it will do in, you know, the real world. You know, trying to range distant targets that aren't terribly reflective. And I had 1910 yards out of it. It's really good. It is really good. It will do a mile pretty well. If you've got any type of reflective gong out there, it'll do a mile. It's fantastic. I 110% recommend the pinger in it. The binoculars are not world class, but what you've got to think is that you're comparing this to a monocular. You add a few £100 from a monocular and you're into this. And I tried some equivalent monoculars again to remind myself, because to be honest, I'm spoiled by the Swarovskis. And what you have with the monoculars is that they're a disaster to try and use because they're so small. And the adjuster for the focus is right up against your eyeball, and you're practically poking yourself in the eye trying to get the focus right, and you really can't scan with them. They're for pinging roughly, and that's it. When it comes to scanning round, a binocular is an order of magnitude easier. Even if the glass is the same, you've got the adjustable cups here. You've got left and right focus. You've got much steadier hold because it's a big chunky binocular. And in that way, they pull away from your ranging monoculars in a big, big way. I thoroughly recommend this product. 850 quid. Optics Warehouse looking after you. Brilliant pinger. Absolutely fantastic pinger. Nice ergonomics. I mean, it's heavy and bulky compared to the Swarovski, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And my lord, is the pinger good. It is instant. Various modes in there, brush mode and, you know, under 150 yard mode and rain mode, but it doesn't really need them. It just does the job, whatever. I really like this thing, guys, and if you don't like it, Optics Warehouse will sort you out. So I think it's a product that is worth having a go at. I really do. There's not a lot else in the binocular rangefinder sub £1,000 bracket. So Rudolph have thought that through. There's also a little monocular they do, which is really, really tiny. It's really uncomfortable to use because it's so small, but the pinger, again, out to 1,000 yards, instant. definitely worth a punt if you just want something tiny to put in your pocket. It does the job that it's intended for. It's not for observing the hill all day long, but if you want to just take it out of literally your trouser pocket, you could put it in. It's smaller than what's it smaller than? It's smaller than a pack of cigarettes. So I like the little monocular as well. So yeah, Rudolph, a brand to watch. I think they're going to do well in the UK. Some really good bargains. Have a look at them. You'll find them on the web. These are not, you know, out of China or something. This is an established company. They're just fairly new to the UK. So I like the binos. I love the FFP scope. If you're thinking of a 6-24 FFP, I prefer this to the S3 because it's got a better ret and it's cheaper. And the second focal plane one here is a solid bet with good turrets. Have a look on the Optics Warehouse website for more info. Quick mention here again to these deltas. These stay in my car and I'm constantly impressed by them. I have to look through the Swaros before I go, oh yeah, the Swaros are wider and brighter, I see. But when you look through them, you don't think you're missing a thing. I think they're absolutely fantastic. 150 quid in a smart case. Love it. Right, there we go, guys. Welcome to sunny Scotland. Goodbye from sunny Scotland, I should say. I'm going to be doing more of these product highlights when nifty little products come my way that are under the radar, just so you've got the heads up. I don't test them for as long as I do on my normal test, which is many months. These, I hang about with them for a few weeks, get to know them, and then get the word out there so that you can grab a bargain, and that so Optics Warehouse know what I like and what I don't. So there we go. Rudolph Optics. I think they're going to do very well.